Hey guys, Jordan Holland here with Explore CrossFit and another open guide. Last year we did one of these every single week and for athletes in the gym, but we opened it up to anybody who wanted to view and hopefully take something positive away, help them do better on these open workouts than they may have otherwise. So I'm sure you've already seen the video, so you know what's going on. I'm just going to review it real quick. 15 toes to bar, 10 deadlifts, 5 snatch, max rounds in 9 minutes, immediately followed by 6 minutes to achieve a 1 rep max clean and jerk. Big changes this year, super excited about it. Loved watching Froning and Fraser go head to head, super good contest. Froning came out on top, which I was personally excited about. Love to watch that dude throw down. So some things that I wanted to address right out of the gate for that first part. On the AMRAP, hand protection, whether you're using weightlifting gloves, gymnastics grips, forming a mitten out of rock tape, I don't care what it is, do something to protect your hands. Depending on how good at toes to bar you are, that's a lot of time on the bar, and then with the deadlift and power snatch, that's a lot of pulling, a lot of degradation on the hands. We've got 4 more weeks after this, so we don't want to spend the whole week not training because our hands are blistered and bleeding. Break early, break often, but keep your rest short. 15 toes to bar in a row is awesome. I love it, but most of us can't do that very many times. One good rule of thumb that I like to tell people is whatever your max reps unbroken toes bar is, cut that in half, and that's what you're gonna break your sets into. So if your best set of toes to bar is 15 reps, 7 or 8. Another good key, if you have no idea, is what feels like AMRAP minus 2 to 3. So when you feel like, oh, I got 1 or 2 more, get off the bar. Don't go to total failure, because then getting back on the bar is going to get harder and harder, and those sets are going to get longer and longer. Rest periods and short rest are going to make a difference. You saw Froning break early, maybe start breaking maybe around 4 or 5, but his rests were really short. He'd come off the bar, 2 breaths. Right? I love counting breaths instead of counting seconds, because seconds start to go really fast. I'm like, well, it was now 5 seconds. Okay, I think I'm going to start 10 seconds. Before you know it, we're on the ground for 15, 20 seconds, and then we're blowing through a lot of time. Mixed grip on the dead. Save that grip. And alternate that. So if you go right hand under in set 1, go left hand under in set 2. Giving as much rest to the forearm flexors as possible, because those toes to bar into deadlifts, into snatch is going to get incredibly fatiguing, incredibly fast. And then pay attention to back fatigue, right? It's a lot of bending over, it's a lot of hip extension, it's a lot of spinal loading with the hip inflection. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of that back. What I'd like to see, if you're going to see sloppy snatches, I want to see perfect deads. If I'm going to see sloppy deads, then I want to see perfect snatches. Something where I'm only letting my back go into aggressive flexion for one of those 2 movements. Now, some of us, if we got a 500-pound deadlift or a 250-pound snatch, well, then 115 pounds on the snatch and 150 pounds on the deadlift is not going to be that big a deal, but it does add up, right? 6, 7, dare I say 8 rounds of this is going to get really taxing on those low back muscles. And again, we have 4 weeks after this. More workouts, we want to stay in the game. We've got to keep on training if we're going to make it all the way through. So take care of that back. Moving on to the clean and jerk. We saw those athletes do a lot of sets. In my opinion, a lot of sets, and I'd want to see 4 sets max, hopefully less. And now, that's going to come from a couple of things. 1, decide your opener before this thing starts. Don't go based on feel when you get to that barbell, and err on the side of too light. So, if you've got a max clean and jerk of 255, maybe you open up with something like 205, something that you can get for sure, and then make your next set. And then I'd actually have your all 3 lifts or 4 lifts decided beforehand, and go by feel after the first one. And regarding that first rep, I would wait a full minute into that 6 minutes after you come off the toes to bar, after you come off the AMRAP, before you attempt that first clean and jerk. Because what you don't want to do is, because of grip fatigue or back fatigue, miss that first rep and get that psychological doom spiral going on that's going to mess up the rest of that 5 or 6 minutes for you that you've got left to do clean and jerk. So we want to do 4 sets or less, decide our opener beforehand, wait. Let a minute burn on the clock, right? That gives us 5 full minutes to do 3 sets, which gives us about 90 seconds between sets if we take our time setting up and doing those lifts. And then set an opener that you know you can hit, and then prime beforehand. Prime pre-workout. When I say prime, I mean warm your clean and jerk up. Get used to moving that barbell. Grease that groove and prime that pattern so that when you come out, you're going to come out swinging, technically proficient, albeit tired. We know you're going to be tired. You do not have to be inefficient, demonstrating poor technique during a movement that's highly technical when you are under duress. So get that clean and jerk nice and hot while you're aerobically priming for this first piece on the workout. Come out swinging, hit this hard, take a minute after that 9 minutes is up. get that bar loaded, take a breath, get set, smash that first lift, and then based on that plan of attack that you strategized before the whole workout started, go by feel after that. So hopefully you guys have a lot of fun with this. Again, protect those hands. We got 4 more weeks. Protect that back. Break early, often with short rest, mixed grip dead, and as few sets as possible to put up a big number. And don't be sad if you don't hit a PR on this clean and jerk, right? You just came off of 9 minutes of awesomeness. It's unlikely. What we saw happen just a few minutes ago, or depending on when you're watching this, a few hours ago, on the games announcement was unreal, right? Don't think of those as real people. Rich Froning and Matthew Frazier are exercise robots. True story. Exercise robots put together in a factory in Palo Alto. I have it on good authority. So we're going to go out. We're going to have some fun. We are going to come out swinging. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy 15.1.